Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've got some stream laid out for tonight, guys. We've got hopefully some great results to be picking up from the game week we're just leaving now. We've got Atlanta playing overnight with my last card to run. Obviously, we've got to fend off some competition from today. AFC was going mental, Asian Champions League, and or ACL. Sorry, I beg your pardon. And you know, we've got 2 MLS games overnight, so it's going to be a nervy end to the game week. I'll be sleeping through it all, so God knows what I'll be waking up to when all that kicks off. On top of that as well, since we went live on Monday, we've had a new update on the dynamic reward structure from SoRare. So especially part 2 of the blog that came out today, part 2, you know, it's very technical and it's good to see all that extra mile stuff they're doing for us. It doesn't really bother me in any way, shape or form, so it's just one of those ones where nice to know it's there, and I trust some of you guys out there will probably go and dig around and just make sure everything's as it should be, and fantastic, and thank you very much for doing that, because people in the community that take all angles of approach to different topics and different subjects are equally beneficial to the conversation and to the greater good of all involved, you know. So as much as sometimes, you know, the noise can be a bit frustrating and the back and forth sometimes can get a wee bit messy, you know, it's brilliant, and I'm really glad that we've all had that kind of part of whatever we wanted from that side of things. The first part of it was really good news. It just sounds like we're getting more and more cards, which is lovely. But one thing that I did pick up from the part that we have received today is that it sounds like the kind of final statement from Thomas or whoever it was that wrote it was, now that they've got this kind of element of the reward structure that we had information on yesterday, now they can go and look at the tiers and how they're going to operate. Do they need maybe some sort of revamp or upgrade of some sort? So it sounds like, so because it's the dynamic reward structure, what they've laid out for us so far, it's going to be tied to clubs and players that are licensed and active in the game week, etc. So what that will do is they'll have some sort of algorithm that will portion out certain bandings of rewards pending certain criterias, etc. So now that those formula are in place within their actual reward structure themselves, if they want to go and add on another tier, then it's very easy to just kind of plug in and play on that and just kind of upgrade and change exactly, you know, what the tiers are. You know, if they wanted to make it 5 tiers, plugging that into the kind of system that they've just created, I think will become really easy, and it will be, you know, so I think this is like foundational work that had to be done for the next big step in this kind of journey that they're on with the rewards. So I was really happy to see that. Sorry guys, bear with me. Thanks very much, guys. So there's a bunch of you joining us already, so thank you very much. Hoodwink is in the house. Fist bump, good to see you. And Morts, oi oi. I don't think Mortsy boy, were you in the stream on Monday? I just don't reckon. Maybe you've changed your wee avatar or something like that. But just been a wee while. Morts, good to see you back in town. So like I was kind of saying at the tip off, I've had an amazing game week myself. I'm really looking forward to, you know, the more rewards and the more robust that structure becomes, the better, because I feel that my club is very well positioned to actually take benefit of what's going on there now, and I don't even think we're anywhere near like the eye of the storm that has just been kind of unleashed on us. So it's definitely going to be one of these like delayed gratification things from my point of view in terms of the information we've received today, and even the structure that we've been kind of running on top of for the last 5 weeks or whatever it's been. Because that eye of the storm, that period where we've got as many fixtures converging as possible, it's going to be amazing. But without further ado, this is what I'm looking at this game week, guys. 4 greens, 4 entries. You can see we're sitting 5th in under 23 D2. Kaboya! We're looking good for a super rare. I'll show you that in a second. All-Star D3. I was actually like 10th or something this morning. We're down to 40th, which, you know, for 300 points, being 10th was never going to last long. But it was nice to dream. All-Star D4. I think I must have been like 70th or something. We've jumped way back. And Champion America, of course, there's been no change since when I woke up this morning. There's not been any matches for that region. So, a bit of a slight back because of the Asian matches. But, you know, the scores that I've received, you know, 292 in All-Star D4. You know, finishing like 70th or whatever would have been quite criminal. And the 300 points for, you know, like even a top 20 position in this day and age for the kind of games that were available this game week would have been a crime, to be honest with you. But the ETH has been flushed in easy enough, and even the Champion America, you know, sitting 44th over there now. I think that's a tier 2. I hope maybe it's a tier 3 that we're picking up for the game week. But I couldn't believe when I actually looked at that and took a wee step back. 44th in Champion America D4, and I'm picking something up. So obviously there's a lot of games, a lot of players, a lot of payout. But yeah, I just found that a remarkable surprise. This is the All-Star D3. Now, I said when I built this team, it was... first of all, guys, Luis Barraza, take a bow. Luis Barraza, all 3 of them, of course, played, you know. So I had 4 entries. 3 of them were Luis Barraza. Just picking up that 40 points was cushy. Absolutely cushy for me, having him in 3 places at once. Absolute payoff. I think my combined cost on all 3 of them is maybe £100, maybe £150 at a push, I forget. But yeah, so he's paying in big time even in this one game week. Segura captain was a good call, and Wanyama and Grancy are just both kind of come in mediocre super rares, you know. So I would have thought Wanyama might have got that kind of score he got with his multiplier. Without it, I thought that would have been quite, you know, on the cards. And Grancy, you know, with the last 2 games he's had, I would have liked to seen a 6. You know, I'd like to have seen 66 there. For his before multiplier score. And Mason Toy got a goal, which we kind of thought was on the cards against NYC because of the amount of changes in the back line over this game. So, you know, I'm quite glad that the rationale behind the team is all kind of came together and paid off pretty well. With the super rares not hitting, to still pick up a tier 1, I think is a fantastic result. And being in 41st, it just goes to show how many cards were available, All-Star D3, you know. So that might be my best prize that I pick up this game week, to be quite honest with you. All-Star D4, now we put Torres in the last minute thanks to Josh, so Josh, thanks very much. He only brought in 42 points. I don't think we dropped anyone for him that did much better, if at all. Mark Hodgson, good to see you, my man. Mark's boy's been chilling out. Was watching the Create Your Club series, was a good one. Oh, thank you very much. There's another, there's one more episode in the pipe that I said this on the stream on Monday. It's just been me and the kids in the house all week, and I thought, oh brilliant, I've got a good handle on the kids, and I'll be able to carve out some time here and there and make some vids and whatever. And that's just not happened. We were out the park last night till like 8 o'clock or something, and just, you know, right before the England game I had to come back in, and I think it was the same the night before, so it's just been mental. So I've not actually got anything done that I thought I might, but I've got a lot of credit in the bank with the missus, so who knows what'll happen. But yeah, I'm really glad you like this. He's actually had a lot of fun doing it, and you know, that kind of topic, or that, you know, what I normally start with most of these things is just like, it is like a topic and just try and flesh it out a wee bit. And you know, building your club, I think, and I know all the stuff I've done so far in that little series is quite mechanical in terms of buys and strategies and formations and regions and all that kind of thing. But I think as that series kind of develops, it'll move into trying to get, maybe in the next episode or 2 after the one that's on the board, maybe like identity, you know, because there is, I feel anyway, my club has a really strong identity. When I look at my teams, and of course I spend every waking moment of my life looking at my teams, as I think you probably do with your own. I really do feel that, yeah, this is my club. That is a Barcelonan guy. He's a Barcelonan player. He needs to be in the team, or he, you know, he's not making the gravy anymore, whatever. But sorry, I babble and I digress. Captain Usami was a big letdown. I should have captained anyone else, really, because I would have maybe went with Parks, because I did say he's quite goal dangerous after the last goal he got, and Hay showed up again with a goal, the only goal for in NYC as it turned out. And Farfan, 60, I don't think he got decisive action again, and we are talking about that in the stream, that he's hit a 90 recently with no decisive action from left back or whatever he plays. Left back or right back, I forget, I'm sure it's left. But yeah, picking up the ETH at a canter, and if it brings in a card as well, then result, back of the net, happy days. Cannot grumble that at all. The disappointment here is, of course, Josh Atencio. He'd only come on for the last 10 minutes. I think if he started that match, he could have easily got the sort of score that would have rivaled an alternative player, because I definitely had alternatives for him. You know, like Parks was over here. I could have easily had that the other way around in a different game week. And I had one. I think I maybe had another MLS midfielder that I might have played it in place of Atencio. I can't remember who it was at this moment. But to still again pick up a card carrying a bench warmer. Pozuelo and Vela finally turned up to some extent and picked up greens in the same game week, which was nice. Danny Wilson did kind of what's expected, and Barraza copy and paste from All-Star D3. Even lads, I think you should add in a random figurine review at the end of these videos, but like Nellis did with the well, I'm probably not going to do that, to be honest with you, but I was it's a really long story, right? But my dad's in America, right? And last year, see, for buying toys and all this other kind of stuff that I fuck about with, it was a really good year to be buying things in dollars. So I was going on all the American websites and buying all this stuff like the minute it came out, you know, before any pre-orders in the UK would be available or whatever, and buying it in dollars with on the American website and getting it shipped to my dad. That's fucking brilliant, you know. I'm kind of winning there, because I was converting Ethereum back, I think, at the time, and converting Ethereum back into dollars, and I think I spoke about the dollar to pound exchange rate in a really early video, but in the very early days, it definitely, you know, see, for me, like, it happened once or twice around the election, around Trump or something, but like the dollar did make some kind of movement. It's not big in the grand scheme of currencies or whatever, but when it did, like, it made ETH was going up in dollars or something like that, but it wasn't going up in pounds. It was weird. So it kind of felt like I had some free dollars almost, if that makes sense. So anyway, I've been waiting since March for my dad and whatever to send over the box, and they were just about to send it, and I was like, listen, I just got an email, something's going to get delivered at the end of July, and I'm like, okay, we'll hold off until we get this last one. So I've got tons of shit coming, and when I get that stuff in, like, you know, I was kind of thinking I might just make a video and stick it out and see if anyone on Instagram fancies it, 'cause my Instagram's full of toy pictures and stuff. But I'm probably not going to do it on a stream, Alex Dobbins, sorry. It's just not the same crowd, I don't think. Evening everyone, congrats Quinny on what looks like will be a cracking game week. Thank you very much, Mikey, I hope it is too. And Hendo has joined us for a stream in the house, good to see you. You picked up the Akhmatov SR, congratulations, welcome to Club Akhmatov. Might I ask the ticket price? Did you get that a good rate? Did you have to get bent over on it? Is he still U23 next season? I haven't actually checked that out since we were chatting. If he is, should be a great pickup. And also as well, like, Vlasic didn't have a good Euros, so I think much of the speculation of him transferring might die down a bit, because CSKA are in Champions League, if I remember rightly. Or no, am I totally wrong on that? Are CSKA in Europe next year? Even if they are, so yeah. So Vlasic is good for that team, and Akhmatov, yeah, blah blah blah. Could be a great pickup. Or I think anyway. And then this is the ultimate. This is the team. This is the team of the game week. So Hassel has paid off in the first game week. I said on the stream on Monday, like, when I bought him, I'm tying myself to play him at every feasible opportunity, and I live and die on that decision. I put my best SRs. You know, the Eric Lopez over Wanyama or Grand Seer wasn't possible because they're not U23, of course. I had one other alternative, I think it was Barco or something, but not much else. And fucking Kessler is turned up with a 70. Cabral gets his first goal of the season, bangs in a 70. Captain Acevedo didn't quite get the points I wanted, but captaining a player like that, he was the banker player of them all. He will play he will start and he will get max minutes. Whereas everyone else, you know, there's a wee bit of, maybe not quite Cabral, but Cabral could have showed up with a 40 score quite feasibly if you look at his form. So captaining a forward like that is dicey. So I cannot regret the captain decision. Of course, in hindsight, I could have captained Kessler, who was a DNP candidate. You know, the whole Kessler, John Bell situation at New York Revs gives me sleepless nights, you know. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, he showed up in a big way, so did Cabral. Eric Lopez is the last card I've got to play, and it's probably going to be, because there's not much for the weekend, guys, right? So I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time on the stream doing the now, is trying to work out how scared I should be of this next 15% that's yet to be completed for the division. As you can see, before Eric Lopez runs, I'm just under 60 points away from top spot, you know, so I want to see how feasible really is that, and, you know, what am I dreaming of waking up to in the morning, kind of thing. So I'm really happy, and again, the thing I say with all these teams, and what I always try and do between these streams and on the game weeks, is like lessons that I can take from mistakes that I've made, you know, decision making that I've allowed myself to go into, for better or worse. Try and pull the best and the worst, or try and eliminate the worst and pull the best out of each game week moving forward. And I highly recommend to any of you watching this that you try it and like maybe have like try and diarise it in some way yourself. You know, kind of track, you know, decisions you make and risks you take, and kind of how often they pay off and when they pay off and what kind of, you know, trying, because the thing with like a lot of you guys watching this are 17-20 of you knocking about the now. A lot of you guys will be from Planet Index, and then back in those days, like watching out for stuff was all about price movement, you know, in terms of when you bought somebody and when you sold somebody. You know, I bought somebody at this price, sold them at that price. It was quite one dimensional in that sense. Whereas with this, when you win, it's not just the cards that you've bought and sold, but it's also when you've played them, what division you've played them, who you've accompanied them with, and what kind of factors maybe drove you towards that decision. And the thing with football is there's such a wide variety of scenarios, and they're ever changing random combinations of them at all stages of the season. But you will find yourself in familiar situations on occasion, and it is handy to know through kind of reformations what you are happy to live and die by in terms of what decision making process you want to carry yourself on. So anyway, I'm quite confident I'm picking something up. I don't know what, how many, where from, because you know, except for the under 23s, I think everything else really could flip on a knife edge, depends on the overnight scores. So let's have a wee peek into the game week centre, and we'll have a look to see the rest of the competition that I've got in this division and how feasible it may actually be. So we'll show the lineups, because I might be able to recognise a fair amount of the players involved. Okay, so Shamrock's up there, he's getting nothing. So Neighbour in fourth has still got somebody. Is it Rossi? Is Rossi? No, Rossi's went. He's got Sosa. Right, so Sosa's probably good for about 50 points or so. Wow, okay, so I basically need Lopez to get 10 more points than Sosa, basically. And hope that, he's got him as captain. Oh, geez, no. Is he captain? Or is he a unique maybe? Oh, Jesus, that might be a unique Sosa. 1 point, yeah, he's captain or he's unique, he's one of them. So, Jesus, right, okay, we need, what do we need? Eric Lopez to get like, let's say 20 points more than Sosa, just to be safe. Tom C's got nothing, he's got nothing. Supernova has got Barco, yes, hopefully that's a DNP. And hopefully it's a DNP, yes. And Kyle Duncan it'll be tonight for New York, so I'm pretty sure they're playing. He should play, but if Barco DNPs, I think Supernova's out the game. A.J. Who's he got still to run? It'll be the boy from Philly, and Bazio, which looks like a rare card. So yep, he's not catching us, I don't think. Which I've just probably jinxed up. Right there, probably just jinxed up. Miami, I think they've played. Vancouver have played. Kawasaki, Farfan. Luca Lewis, the goalkeeper. Right, okay, I don't think he's going to be playing. I think it's that Brazilian guy who's been kicking about. Visa card. Oh, he's got good cards normally. I think he'll have this Nashville guy, Hackinson. He'll probably have Cáceres as well, so I think New York played tonight. Yeah, I think so. And he's on 169, so you know he could be dangerous for me, I think. And then Kurupu's down here. What's he got? Benji Michel's run. He's got a Cáceres and a Brooks Lennon. A Cáceres and a Lennon, but again his points, yeah, he's quite far behind me. SoRare Italia has got one guy left. Will it be Akinola? Nope. Bastoni? Nah, he's got a DNP in there then, eh? Bastoni, he just threw him in there for the Bants. He's Italian, isn't he? Yeah, okay. I think for guys, I think I'm in pole position here to run up the table. By my count anyway. Supernova, as long as Barco DNPs. And who did this guy have again? The goalkeeper, yeah. So as long as Barco DNPs, it's a fight between Unique Sosa or Captain Sosa, it's hard to tell, and Eric Lopez. Oh, how many points am I away from top? Oh, fucking years. Guys, top two. Top two has to be on the cards for me now, doesn't it? I'm so excited now. Oh, please don't be a super jinx, please, man. 0.12 SR Akhmatov. I think that's. Bros got quite jealous of that, man. Like, I paid more than that for a rare. Wow, very good pickup. Pendo, well gel. XMK is in the house. What's up? I didn't quite have the right combo this midweek, but should still hopefully get 2 tier 3s in the threshold. Fucking, that's good. Missed someone with 3. Oh, did I? Who did I miss with 3 players left? Oh, let's go back. Supernova. Visa card. I've seen Visa card. He's got 2 people to run. Hackinson and Cáceres, but again he's like 169 points. He's 140 points behind. No. Oh, he's 100. Yeah, he's 120 points behind me. So yeah, he's asking for big scores off of those 2. Who has 3? Kurupu. I've already looked at Kurupu. I think Cáceres he's got. Oh, Cáceres is maybe a unique or something. Or captain. That could be dangerous. And Brooks Lennon. Who else is good? Oh, this person here. I mean, they've got Barco in here as well, James McQueen. So I'm hoping, or Barco, I'm expecting him to be a DNP. And he also had Donnarumma in here, which is a DNP. So yeah, I don't think this guy's going to get very far. Yeah, I'm fairly caught. Am I missing something a bit further down? Have I still missed them? I know the live chats have been a bit behind the stream, but I think I've seen everyone. I don't think there's anything to be feared of here. I think I'm going for top 2. Oh, come on, man. James McQueen, yeah, seen James McQueen. Yeah, James McQueen's got Barco, who's expected to be DNP also, and he's played a DNP goalkeeper. Oh no, Donnarumma wouldn't have been DNP. No, Donnarumma wouldn't have been. Sorry, but he's got it's Mbazio. That's what it is. Mbazio and Amaya and Barco. That's what he's got. So he's got the 3 of these guys left to run. I say Barco's an expected DNP. He's only on 100 points, you know, so that's all he's got left. Yeah, it's still on. It is still on. Guys, I'm fucking shiting it and buzzing all at the same time. This guy's top with a DNP, James Sands, eh? Yeah, he can't be winning with a DNP in his team. That's criminal. Yeah. Yes, come on, man. Oh, come on, buzzing. Right, guys, the game week we're about to roll into. I've not done any buys or anything. I think that these are up to speed with where we're. Yeah, Grand Seer was the last one we picked up, and you might be paying us off in some way, shape, or form quite quickly. Now, the game week, which is 12 hours away from opening, guys. The deadline, if you're watching this, is in 12 hours from whenever the stream started. Depending on your local time. I'm only getting 2 teams out now, guys. When I did my SoRare data lineup builder for this game week, I actually thought, fuck it. I'm going to play Arturo Osaka and I'm going to gamble on D2 because the prizes and the potential was just too big. But after me kind of seeing how good I've done this game week, I'm like, no, do you know what? Keep those lessons that I've been building on and the form I've been accruing and take it into something that's probably a bit more safe. And especially after the blog post came out saying we're buffing D3 as of game week 182. And I've just went the strongest team I possibly can. There's nothing flashy here, really. You know, Zelarayan is capable of a big score. He's not really been on it recently, but he's been on like good 60-ishes, 50s. Usame is just, he needs a goal, man, and I don't think he will start. The next games he started 2 in a row. It is a big match. I don't really know what's going to happen there. Mensa's solid. Slovic, you know, hey, and Machida, he should be about 60. So, you know, nothing great here. We could get a good placing, you know, and if we come away with a tier 1, brilliant. And just the payouts and everything are just so good now. It's hard not to take that just so seriously at the moment. And then with D4, I had no other options really. This is just every other rare I had playing. I've not got any idea what's even going on with Asi Ueda anyway? I don't have any other striker available. The only other one I've got is Marcos Jr., who I know is suspended because he got red carded in the last match. I have no other striker, so I'm kind of forced into playing Ueda here. So it should really just be an ETH chasing team. Really, I'm just kind of stuck with that, unfortunately. So hey, the Shrewsbury Wolf is in the house. Boom, good to see you. Chrissy Quirk, good to see you. Oh, I've missed a few pieces here. It's under gameweek rankings. Sorry. Good luck, Quinny. Thanks a lot. I need Kyle Duncan to put in a score for a tier 2. I hope he does enough for you, Woody, but not enough for that one guy that's got Kyle Duncan in my division. Chrissy Quirk, good to see you. Morts, found it. I found it, yeah. I think I eventually got there. Myth, thoughts on Daiki Suga for the rest of the season? He stopped starting as soon as I bought him. Suga definitely plays for one of the teams that I kind of follow. I think is it Kashiwa Reysol? The thing with Reysol, if it is they're such a flaky ass team, man. Like, I would definitely, if you've bought them recently, you're waiting for the form to come back, you're waiting for the appearances to come back. It is a rotation in league, so you will notice that players will drop in and out of the squad. A great example I've got from last year is Koki Machida and Takumi Ominami. Both of them were headaches when I first bought them, and this season they've been brilliant for the club. So I would definitely say, guys that are definitely credible starters at a team, if you can hold on to them rather than selling in a losing situation, that is something to consider. But equally, some people like to just cut losses on things and just go, I'll get that back in something else. I've seen a really hot deal over here, and if I can sell for this price and buy him all the way over here at this very low price, then I'll more than make up for my losses on the second time round. Each to their own. It depends how you're built and what you're made of and what tickles your pickle. So that's all I can really say to that. Evening Quinny, how's tricks? Joshy boy, I thanked you earlier on for the Ferran Torres shout. I'm not too confident in this game week coming. We'll have a look at the prize pool. So All-Star D3, let's just say we're going to have 600 entrants and 10%ish are going to be getting something at D3, and that's up to 60th place, which is fucking mental. So again, if I can get into the tier 1s, I'll be really happy. And if I came with a tier 2, because it's the top 20% of tier 2s from what they said in the post, then cool, I can definitely live with that. And shit, I just went to D4 there, sorry. And D4, we've got under 4,000 entrants, which is the first time that number's been that low as long as I can remember. And we're getting up to 314 for the DNP candidates, the tier 3 rares. But about the top 100, basically, are getting tier 2 and above, which is lovely. Star rares up to 6th place, which is cool. Tier 1's all the way up to 20th, that's lovely. So, yeah, good game week ahead. I'm not really confident at all, but I think my D3 is going to do something. I think it should win me a card, as long as they all kind of come in with at least they're kind of what you'd expect for them on a decent day. My captain works out for the better. Koki and Slovic maximise their super rare capacities. Then tier 1 I can name for that, hopefully. But yeah, I think that's kind of all for the stream tonight, guys, to be honest with you. I'll let me just see. I think I've maybe would you suggest buying the 5 players off the market to get the free rare card, or would you buy players you have already identified? Now, the Shrewsbury Wolf, the question you're asking me is a fantastic one, and I actually had to talk my cousin, who sometimes is on the streams, out of doing exactly what you're saying. He's like, I'm just going to go buy, I'll get one more player to get, I'm just going to buy the next guy I can get for under 20 quid or whatever, and it's like, don't, you will buy a card at some point, that is inevitable, you will do that. So why I just don't, why, it's the only reason why. You're going to be buying things you want anyway. The thing lasts for 90 days. You get 90 days to get your free rare qualified. Take the full 90 days, man. And I know that a lot of people have the propensity to want to get in early and get and make sure next time before it booms or pops or whatever, they've got as much as possible to milk off of or whatever, right? But trying to predict the future like that and trying to accelerate expenditure is something you need to walk a tightrope on. You need to manage very carefully, So I've always been a big proponent of get all the free stuff you can get your hands on, maximise the time you've got in the creche and the rookie league, really really cut your teeth at a safe pace, you know. 'Cause it's just much more enjoyable. No one enjoys games where, you know, you get maybe a third of the way through the story mode and then you realise, oh fuck, I've not been paying attention to this aspect of the game, and it means now that the character's not leveled up, or it means this gun is crap, or you know, whatever might be, and then you just go, oh fuck, I'll start again and I'll grind up to where I was, and that's not enjoyable. And doing that on SoRare is expensive, if not hard to do, you know, in terms of just giving yourself a soft reboot or a hard reset. So why put yourself through that future anguish? Just if you are going to buy cards anyway, Shrewsbury Wolf, don't just buy one for the sake of it. Is my solid advice that I will happily have put in stone. The J League has been super unpredictable. It 100% has. You see the Paulinho recovery video? Yes, I've been following Paulinho on Twitter since December, and I've been following his recovery like a fucking pervert, to be honest with you. I've been all over his social media, and yeah, so I'm really buzzing for Paul. I was so close to selling him about 3 or 4 times. I've had people in DMs, and I've listed him countless times, and I've just got to the point now where I'm like, he's here, he's coming back, and see if he starts for Leverkusen. Under 23 super rare champion Euro forward. He's got a really great ceiling, I think, to rise up to. So I'm buzzing for Paulinho, and I'm hoping he can maybe fill a gap in my club and in my depth that I've always discarded him against. I've never really taken him seriously for my actual SO5 plans, and I think I'm open to the possibility of him being like the heir to what Leon Bailey did for me last year, you know. Also, I need Paulinho to be picked, and I need him to do good at football, and that's a wee bit romantic because Bailey was brilliant for me when I first started on the platform. Him and Amiri was some double act, so I might be feel a wee bit of member berries on that one, but yeah, I'm hopeful on Paulinho, 100%. The recovery's been solid. If you're new to the J League, then currently Kashiwa Reysol is the worst team to follow due to rotations. Yeah, well, the defenders aren't too bad. Ominami tends to play like the majority of the time. It doesn't really, since I said last year anyway, I've not really seen him get rotated too much. He has missed the odd game here and there, of course, don't get me wrong, who hasn't? But overall, I don't think it's been too bad. I'm just going to make sure I catch up with your comments, guys, and then I think that's kind of obvious, because the next game week is so bare. There's not much to go for. I had 2 teams. I already had them prepped because they were so limited, and I'm just buzzing now for the MLS games to come overnight. And imagine the first week of the Hassel play, the Hasselhoff. The first week of the Hasselhoff. I finished first. Imagine it, man. That's what I'm thinking to myself. Imagine Eric Lopez, man. He needs to ball out tonight. Hopefully Joseph plays. It's Nashville away, isn't it? So I was just double checking there. Nashville away is a tough game. Oh, super nervous. It's not even on the telly, so there's no. I'm not going to stay up to watch it or anything. Yeah, just a shame Torres didn't get that decisive. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. But he did okay enough, and I don't think I had much behind him. Evening Quinny, and thanks, no problem, Shrewsbury Wolf, any time. But yeah, as I say, guys, I've not really got much else to go for. I've not really been doing much in the market. The blog post update thing was cool from them. I'm not going to do a video on it. I think it's all quite, it's just, yeah, we're getting more stuff, and it's one of these ones we've all kind of spoke about it already, and all they're doing now is just briefing us with further information and further details. And the first part of that whole blog post where it's like, oh, we've kind of looked at all your feedback and we're redeveloping the reward structure, I didn't even see that coming, really, to be honest with you. And it's like most of the stuff that they do, I'm just like, wow, that's really cool. They didn't really need to do that, but they clearly have, and they wanted to, and they see the benefit in it. Like, everyone tells them about the feedback that we all give them, or you guys in particular will give them. So fucking yes. You know, brilliant. But yeah, so it's been a great week in a lot of ways, and I'm just hoping, man, just hoping we can bring in the trophies. Bring in the trophies. I've only won one division once. I won All-Star D3. See if I could win under 23 D2. That would be fucking brilliant, man. I'd be so happy. I wonder how Kessler got such a high score. Last man tackle boosted us up to decisive, so that's an extra 25 points. So without that, 45. So that's interesting to note. I don't spend enough time on this page, if I'm absolutely truthful with you guys. I think when you're on the computer in particular versus the phone, I think this page is much better. Like Farfan, no decisive. You know, I mean, this guy is slept on. If he continues to play for LAFC, he is. Hear my words. I've had this guy for ages. Cost me like 3 shillings or something, and yeah, he's very much slept on. Acevedo, did he have anything negative against him? Nah, just didn't really get. Yeah, just didn't get any of his doubles and triples and whatever. But he still got enough stuff just spread across the points. Attacking, no kind of shot on goal or anything like that. Yeah, but yeah, Acevedo was solid enough. Vela's Vela. Cabral, I've got to check his score again. A wee bit more detail. I'll probably love these and leave these guys unless there's anything else in the comment section you want to throw at me or want to chat about. Have you seen what cards you could get? Yes, I have. Oh, right, okay. So that's actually, yeah, that's a good one. XMK. Let's have a peek at the rewards pool. So, yeah. So Cabral did good. So I had a good look because I did see what I just did with you guys on SoRare data. I haven't done that until doing it with you guys, and I'd done that deliberately for the stream. So I didn't want to wreck it and tease myself all day knowing what the situation was or whatever. I thought I'll leave it for the stream because that could be a good buzz. And I mainly looked at the tier 3 pool, and to be quite honest with you, there was some tier 3 super rares in there that I would have. Here, listen, nothing's done yet. Tier 3 super rare might well be what I'm getting, and I'll tell you this right now. Brout Juilliard is a fine tier 3 to win. I've seen a few quite high up on the list anyway. Hackinson's still running this competition, so he's obviously valued by somebody. Tavon Gray I'd like to have because he's an NYC guy. Ulises Lanes, I'd like to get him as a reward, that would be nice. Baldissimo, yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, I kind of went through it. The list is huge, I'm not going to do it with you, but there was like, I was like, oh, okay, there's actually tier 3s, it is like few and far between, but there is some ones I'm like, I'd actually be really satisfied with that. In tier 2, prediction for the Euros final on Sunday, I think it goes to extra time. That's the only thing I'm prepared to say, is I think it will go to extra time. I want to see the teams, I want to see the game for the first 10-15, but I think it's got a lot of extra time potential on it. Because Southgate, from what I've seen and from what I've heard on the radio and whatever, I've not seen too much of England, truth must be told. I've seen the semi-final, of course, and even in the semi-final, he doesn't make many subs in 90 minutes unless he's forced to. You know, he will make 1 or 2 subs, he's not going to use 5, and because of that, you know, dynamic, I think that favours, if the game is tight, extra time happening. Because as a team makes more substitutes, the kind of rhythm of the team, in theory and quite often, will fade a little bit from the team while the players just off the bench get into the rhythm of the match and, you know, whatever. Whereas if you make less subs, you don't have that same problem. So you're just waiting on that one guy coming in for a fresh bit of energy on the left hand side, or, you know, whatever it might be. And that can actually be more effective than more subs in that kind of, especially in a final where it is all on adrenaline and getting the blood pumping and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I think extra time is quite likely. That's the only thing I'm going to say at this point. Kevin Paredes super rare would be lovely because he's getting played and he's in great form at the moment. Pablo Ruiz would be good, I suppose. Aliceda would be good. I'd actually be quite happy for Aliceda because I was going to buy him, and instead I bought well, I had the 3 in my mind. I had Aliceda, Lopez and Vargas, and Cabral. I had 4, sorry, I beg your pardon, maybe 5. 4 is not a number I like. I'd probably had 5. But anyway, I ended up getting Cabral, Vargas, Lopez, and I didn't get Aliceda, and I didn't get somebody else probably. If it comes back to me, I'll say, but I can't remember. Emega would be nice. Carlos Perez is under 23. If he is, I'd actually probably quite happy with that. This Batista Mendy, I think, is just transferred to Angers, and I've got a wee history with Angers. So maybe he'd be a cool reward. Daniel Perez, I think I can tell you this right now, he's probably my most wanted out of this pool, from what I've seen so far. Just because Belgium's about to come back, and playing up front for Bruges is a good situation to be in. James Sands would be cool. Frimpong would be nice, kinda. Be hard to complain about Frimpong, is really what I mean when I say that. Valenzuela, I've got one already. 2 would be nice. Chuck Vitadze, no thank you. just doesn't play football. Or Cifuentes, he's definitely in my top 3 wants out of this pool. There's my boy Vargas. Vines, my boy. I've got quite a few of these guys. Keaton Parks is in form. And Bazios, this is a few guys have him. Let's see his form, because it's nothing stellar, I suppose, but it's solid. Okay, so he's a 40s to 50s guy. Fair play. So, and again, this pool goes on forever because it's a global under 23 pool. There's some good guys. There's definitely some good players in here to be won. It is quite scattergunny, but you could random on like Bruno Amioni, who knows how good he is. John Tolkien is very highly thought of, by the way. In the same, John Tolkien is mentioned in the same breaths as like Tyler Adams and Caden Clark. By the way, he's quite slept on also. In terms of an MLS defender, good MLS young. Oh, he's on the platform. What a legend! Look at that card. I do not recognise that, by the way. Morts, you've got one. Morris has got one and he's on the market. Morris Van Moreef, I'd probably just buy that off you right now, mate, to be honest with you, just because I'm impulsive like that. There's ones on the market, probably not going to get any of them for the amount of ETH that's in my wallet. But yeah, I'd say he's spoken of in the same kind of breath as like the Caden Clarks and Tyler Adams of the Red Bulls Academy, and he's playing left back, I think. Don't know what position he really is, but he played left back in the last match, which I happened to watch. Was it the New England game? I think it might have been New England. It was on last night, actually, wasn't it? Or, yeah. Oh, New York. Has New York played this game week? Because I was saying Cáceres was still to run for some people. It might not be Cáceres. Anyway. Got 2 token cards, more. It's good play. Cifuentes had 0 left in that. Oh, did he? Oh, bummer. Oh, my tit. Johnny Boy, good to see you. John Ellis. Cifuentes had 0. How come you rate Lanes? I'll tell you why. I can't remember digging it up, but if you look at Lanes, his like, and this will sound really stupid, right? But his record for Wolfsburg under 20s or whatever it is was like shit hot before he went on loan to Heerenveen and got injured and never ever played. He's been in the American, the US men's national team camps in Europe, not the last one, but the one before it, and maybe the one before that. And they do invite every American that's in Europe to that because it is a geographical squad by all accounts, So it's not really a kind of hallmark of quality or anything like that, But he was there and he was involved, and he's one of these guys. He was like in the LAFC Academy or the LA Galaxy Academy, and he gets sniped up young and brought to Wolfsburg, So it's just because he hasn't broken through, hasn't made a name for himself yet. Like I kind of put guys like that. Like if Matthew Hoppe had a card before he made his debut for Schalke, I would have bought it because I would have wanted to own it. The problem I had was, of course, by the time the card came out, he'd already scored like 9 Bundesliga goals and been viral 3 times and whatever else. So the kind of cat's out the bag. Lanes isn't easy to get a hold of. I wouldn't particularly want a super rare of him, but hey, if I win one, then fair enough. He is a massive DNP candidate. He is very injury prone, it must be said. But if he gets fit and plays football in an SO5 scored league, he could be okay. It goes quite cheap, as you can see. The super rare is not worth very much, but if you won one, or if I won one, I would be quite content with it. You might not be, but I'd be quite content. Apologies for no problem. Questions, fire them away. But any tips for learning the large amount of information that you have learnt? It's going to sound really cheesy, but it is just fruit. Like, see, most of the stuff. See, when I'm talking about stuff and random stuff will just fall out my mouth. It is like it's stuff I don't. A lot of my recall isn't like deliberate. I don't start a video or especially a stream. I think, right, I'll talk about this and then I'll segue into this and then I'll spiral off and talk about a wee bit of this or whatever, it just kind of happens, So in terms of like the dynamics of the clubs and whatever, I've been on SoRare for a year, and outside of any Europe, so sorry, I beg your pardon, I had some MLS background, and I mean some, and it wasn't that current because I hadn't been paying attention to MLS for the last 2 or 3 seasons, especially not like actively, but Asia, Belgium, to a large extent Holland, and definitely Russia were like not on my radar, and it's stuff that I've just been picking up over the last year, and it's I spend up I do spend a lot of time building myself up SoRare wise in terms of what players I'm looking out for, what channels I'll follow, what Twitter accounts, what blogs I'll try and find, videos I'll try and watch, blah blah blah, whatever. And as I say, sometimes a lot of it doesn't pay off, but sometimes it will with something. You'll watch a guy play and you'll think, oh no, he's got a bit of something, I like him, and you'll pick him up, and sometimes you'll go on that same hunch and it'll backfire. But the only tips for that is just be mindful. Oh, this is probably the best way to answer that Shrewsbury move, because I was actually thinking, I might have mentioned this in the video, or if I haven't, it's definitely been on my mind for one, right? But if you find you spend a lot of time on your phone, this is just like a thing, period, right? Forget about football and SoRare or whatever, but if you are spending a lot of time on your phone, like, you should spend less time on your phone for a start. It's the very first thing I'm going to say. You should spend less time on your phone. But if you notice, like, the time you are allowing yourself to be on your phone, you are not doing anything productive. SoRare gives you tons of shit you could be doing that's productive, and that could just be watching highlights of a club that you've never ever watched before, or a player that everyone talks about that you've never seen before, you know, that kind of thing. Or just Google stuff, just go down rabbit holes and just try and dig out information. Because I can be on my phone for a long time and be busy doing nothing, and time just runs away from you. You know, like, for fuck's sake, man, it's 8 o'clock already, I've got nothing done today, or I didn't get that done in time, or whatever. So that's probably my best tip in terms of actually building up your information, your library, internal and external. You know, if you maybe compile information onto a spreadsheet or onto a notebook or something, is just try to be aware of how much time you waste on your phone. Because if anyone's like me who's watching this, I waste tons of time doing nothing on my phone. I say not as much anymore, and I say, well, I spend too much time on my phone, point blank. What I'm doing is irrelevant. I spend way too much time on my phone. I should spend less time on my phone, but even when I spend the less amount of time on my phone, I need to make sure I'm being as kind of productive as possible. And being productive on SoRare is something I actually have fun doing. It's a game, it's a hobby, it's a pastime. So being productive in a fun way is fun. That's my motto. I don't think my best five has changed. Eotanak is still in there. I'm kind of waiting for him to go away because he makes me sad. But Robbo's back in. Wonder what it'll be like after Medina's in. I didn't play Medina in this game week, by the way. I made a really. This is another kind of lesson thing that I'd picked up for myself, right? In this game week here, I had a super rare Medina who is not in any squad because he got subbed off in the 35th minute in the last match, and there was no reports ruling him out. And sometimes I've taken that no news is good news approach and went for it. He was started on the bench. I think he maybe get 10 minutes, but I'm much happier having not played him and played even Wanyama picking up 40 points. That's much better going with somebody that you know will start versus is he going to come back from injury kind of play. And it's paid off, you know. So that's another little thing is when I see Medina starting on the bench, I was actually quite happy. It was kind of reassuring again that I've made the right decision there. I've had a good thought process. I've had good experiences that I've remembered making that decision on before and it backfiring and me kicking myself for missing a good opportunity for a reward. So yeah. But I could only learn by asking questions. You said it, Moldy. Did you join the Discord? Yes. Get in the Discord, Wolf. Honestly, like there's many more people that will give you big, detailed responses to stuff. I haven't yet, but I'm just waiting on the ramp. Oh yeah, the ramp can be fun. I've played foot since FIFA 14 and FM since 2016. Brilliant. Well, I think honestly, see Shrewsbury Wolf, see that kind of background. You see, no matter, see when you find SoRare, you're probably a football / soccer fan coming into it, right? Whatever background knowledge you have, that should be the first thing that you are milking. Is stuff you know already, players you have identified already. Now, what you might have to recalibrate against is like a really great buy in Football Manager isn't going to be a really great buy in SoRare, because a really great buy in Football Manager, when you've rattled through 8 seasons from now, he's a great player on your team, and you go, oh, I picked him up for 50 quid, you know. You can't just rattle through 8 seasons in the blink of an eye on SoRare. You need to wait 8 years to happen. That can still be a great buy. That can still be a great card, but it's a different. You need to recalibrate, you know. But definitely draw upon information you already have. Pre-existing knowledge is the leg up you have over everyone else in theory, you know. But yeah, when you kind of going above that, I agree with you. SoRare is next level. Okay, XMK, I beg your pardon. It's just the time of night when I'm aware of where we cross time zones, so you never know who's listening. How far up the A49 are you from Shrewsbury Wolf? I don't really know what that means. Discord's great. all people, yep, blah blah blah, yep, I agree with all that. Magic. So, guys, cross your fingers and toes. I hope you guys are chasing something down. I hope none of yous are chasing something down in under 23 D2, because I've called dibs. I'm on it, and hopefully this game week we absolutely kick ass. And guys, see if I could win that division. Oh, it'd be so good. The Hasselhoff paying off. The hassle paying off. The Hasselhoff. There's something in there somewhere. I know there is. I'll feel free to let me know. But the Hasselhoff, the hassle payoff. There's something there. I know there is. Paying off in the first week is, you couldn't write it any better. That's what's got me so buzzed. If Joseph plays tonight, I'm made as well. Again, I didn't play him this game week. Same story as Medina. But if he does play, it means the next game week when Atlanta, and you know, I've got better cards coming back still to jump up a level and strengthen and push, and oh, fucking buzzing, guys. Honestly, wish me luck. I hope you pull as much as you possibly can. If you've got any players playing overnight, I hope they do as much for you as they possibly can without killing me in the process. Bob, if you just joined us, I think I'm just about wrapping up, Bob. I'm terribly sorry. I might buy the new Football Manager just to scout for SoRare. Myth, I've been very close to doing the same a few times. I've got mates that still kind of play, and I'll just say to them, "Oh, hey, can you tell me someday in Argentina that's good?" Or you know, and I'll just maybe, or you know, who have you bought? You know, just kind of ask them what they've done, and oh, this guy's amazing. And, oh, you need to get this guy, and whatever. So yeah, mind you guys, I've actually upgraded, so I have a proper outro for the stream tonight. So thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. If you catch me on Twitter at Quinny3001, when I pull my rewards, the fleet goes out. I'm actually, do you know, I've been toying with the idea of making a little compilation video, because I've still got all those screen records. I've got the majority of them anyway in my phone over the last year. And for me being on the platform a year, I thought I might do a wee compilation video, and I thought I've not really won anything big in a while. It'll be kind of shite. But if I win something big tonight, then it'll be a lovely little crown jewel to, like, oh, that might even be the video. I might even just do that. Who knows? Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.